live in an age where our media likes to tell us there are no heroes. They like to tell us that we should just be cynical. Everything is jaded. There is no truth. And yet right here today, simple people who weren't born into elite families or have some special character, just simple people, no different than you and me, all around the world, are coming together in their own way, doing their best. The things that happen here in Ukraine will echo throughout every single country. And it's our personal responsibility, whether we choose as a society and as individuals to ignore it or to do something about it.
When you see something like this, you want to do something. Then the reality often sinks in as you're sitting at home going, well, what can I do? Can we as a group do something that we potentially can't as individuals? What if we could do that? And so the more we talked about it was, well, wait a minute, maybe we can.
It is very different to see what is happening and to help on the ground versus looking at them from the ivory tower. So for me, this is an experience which is very profound, and it shows the power of what we are here for.
It's too easy to cut a check. It's too easy to build a DAO and donate some money and then feel that you have some sort of moral absolvance. If you're actually going to solve problems, you need to take a step back and listen, learn from listening, and then you can come up with a real meaningful strategy to assist. We came to Poland and to the border because we're going to start donating some money and work with people in our network to donate money. And so we're meeting a lot of NGOs, government bodies, and trying to get a sense of where we can do the most help and deploy the most capital.
Do Polski około 2 w Polsce, czyli na przejściach granicznych pomiędzy Ukrainą a Polską przeszło około 2,5 miliona osób. 4 tygodnie temu tu praktycznie nie było nic. Miasteczko obecnie, to miasteczko, które powstało około 2 tygodni temu. Cóż jeszcze? No, nie było tak, jak to wygląda w tej chwili. Zresztą przejdziemy się i pokażemy, jak to wygląda na chwilę obecną. Na chwilę obecną jest to zorganizowane.
Poland has really stepped up. They've taken 2 million people into their borders and just absorbed that. And there's so much humanitarian effort here in Poland. What we're doing here on the ground is trying to target those agencies that are a little bit more bespoke and focused on Ukrainian efforts. People are being displaced from their homes. We learned that over 13 million people are either refugees or displaced. I would advise to actually do your research and find the best charities and NGOs to help people to get back on their feet.
Basically, all of us walked into the tent individually at different times and said, is there something I can do to help?
By day is like more tents going up, better like infrastructure, I guess, and more heating, like more resources. It's amazing to see like by day, it's just like the tent went up in a day. People have to seek refuge and like they're displaced and lost essentially everything. They have no idea where they're gonna go next. And they just have to figure it out and then maybe get shipped to a shelter and then they have 2 days to figure out where they wanna go.
I'm originally from India, but I live in Poland. It's a city called Olsztyn. I have my own restaurant in Olsztyn. I also own this food truck. I came here from the day one, from the beginning. I was serving by myself for over 5,000 people food every single day. And then more people came to help me, so I decided to stay here as long as needed.
У меня жило 8 человек, но сейчас мы остались вдвоем и ждем следующую семью, которая приезжает за пару дней. И у меня вот тоже друг отправился, у него жило тоже 5 человек, 3 детей и 2 мамы. И сегодня он отправил их на Шотландию, посадил на самолет, они полетели себе дальше, потому что там знакомые мне.
Our team is called Global Disaster Relief Team. We have a medical unit here that provides first aid help to anyone in need.
We're supporting all three of the organizations that are here. There's Caritas, there's World Central Kitchen, which is, an international NGO, and then there's us. We're the guys who bought a plane ticket and came, regardless of the fact that we tried to find a way to officially get involved and could not. We just showed up and put on gloves and started doing something, because it was a whole lot better than nothing.
At the time when this all started, I was actually on my holidays in Warsaw, just traveling around Europe, and then people started arriving into the hostel I was staying in and telling me their stories coming out of Kiev, and I just decided to go down and try and help, and I got here and just can't leave, really, so I just gotta keep helping as long as I can.
I've been sitting in Kiev, in capital of Ukraine for 1 week, but it was really difficult to survive there. So there were a lot of bombardments, and I heard some bullets on my street. So then we decided with my mom to move here. Yeah, and here I'm going to volunteering for now, and just it's really the best place where I can find some help or some food for some people from Ukraine, and it's really well organized.
I've been at the school now, this is my 5th year here in Poland. I've been doing this internationally though for 30 plus years, so it's been an interesting career with a lot of crisis to it. The refugee situation and the amount of sort of outpouring of need and outpouring of response that's happened in the countries surrounding the Ukraine, I think is starting to become better known now, and Poland has done a remarkable job responding, and we're happy to be a part of helping.
We've met with everyone from people involved in the logistics of just simply moving things across borders, to people involved in mitigating human trafficking, to the psychological effects of being a diaspora of war, to just getting food and medicine into the country.
It's a logistical nightmare out there, but logistics has been one of the main pain points, I think, of this conflict, just getting in and out of the borders, operating within the European Union, so bureaucracy has gotten in the way of getting aid to where it needs to be. We're constantly trying to push for regulators to be a lot more practical.
These people need to start to think and direct help smart way, because sometimes our urge to help needs to be calmed down and wisely directed.
This is a fight against the powers that don't want to give up. Many of these people have been displaced instantly by bombs, and they had to leave without any identities, without any passports. We definitely are not here to oil the wheels of the old system. We are here to recreate it, to redesign it, to enable people to take full control of their lives.
You can come together with a lot of people and not just contribute money, but you can figure out other ways to volunteer, other ways to participate, to be part of the collective community that we see in the world of blockchain. It starts to come together and collectively say, we're going to figure out ways to stop this, not only financially, but by volunteering our time and by volunteering our collective voice and by saying, no, this is wrong, it must stop.
We stopped to talk with Reunite Aid. This is an organization that was started by 2 gentlemen who are using Starlink to make sure that they can give internet access and cell phone service to refugees that are coming over the border.
In this situation in particular, I think I really learned to trust in the new network, because the new technology, the new communication capacity, the ability for people to sort of have grassroots uprising motions that make things happen much more quickly and effectively than we possibly can when it's all centralized, is something we've really had to embrace in this situation. So it was really learning how to capitalize on how interconnected everyone is now and how networked everything is, and find a way to translate that into a focused effort as opposed to everything exploding all over the place.
It's very easy to draw a box around an evil man and say this evil person in some way is an anomaly. But these evil people are partners with systems that create evil. That's a universal truth. So you look at the monetary system, the voting system, you look at how information is distributed, the checks and balances in society, and you run up against very uncomfortable truths that there's not much difference between the modern Russian system, for example, and where certain European powers and the United States could go in a very short period of time if rule of law, checks and balances, and institutions become co-opted and coerced.
You have leaders that are making decisions, and then you have people around the world that are sitting there saying, why? Why are these decisions being made? And in part, it's because we have a system in which a lot of the decision making is delegated without a lot of responsibility, without a lot of feedback, and without empowering individual peoples. If we have a technology that creates a new way to empower voices from the bottom up as opposed to just from the top down, just maybe we change the dynamic of power such that we prevent collectively as individuals these types of stupid things from happening.
The point of our technology is to go from don't be evil to can't be evil. To say, can we embed the principles that we intended at the time the system was created into social systems as a whole? The only way to honor the situation productively and move beyond it, to move to that never again state, is to say, what is the technology of peace? What do we need to embrace? What do we need to build so that the next dictator can never happen again? It's hard to hear the stories and see the people, but on the other hand, it's inspiring. I have seen so much profound bravery in the last 2 days, and I continue to see it. The world is worth saving because there are truly good people in it, and if we surround ourselves in that mindset and that attitude, we too can reflect them in their courage.